Nothing like a strawberry toaster strudel. Nothing like it.
On this episode of The Commercial Break.
Fucking TJ's hard work.
Yeah.
He's demanding.
What are you doing? I'm sucking off your friend. That's the spice of my life. What are you doing? I'm helping your mom vacuum the foyer. When I come home from a long day at World of Warcraft, I expect my meals to be made. It's just one of those things. Can't you envision a future with me? Come on, Miranda.
The next episode of The Commercial Break starts now.
The hard ones with the hard ones.
Oh, yes, it does. Welcome back to The Commercial Break. I'm Bryan Green. This is my dear friend and co-host, Kristen Joy Hoadley. Best to you, Krissy.
Best to you, Bryan.
And best to you out there in the podcast universe. The Commercial Break. Violating policies everywhere.
I do love that tagline.
I gotta be careful that I don't creep into getting, 13 taglines at the beginning of the show. I promised you and I promised myself I wouldn't do it. If I sound a little hoarse today, it's because I'm a little hoarse today. Just be mindful. It's not that I'm not my usual peppy self. It's that my throat won't let me go to 10 right now. So, there you go. I got that spring schmutz that comes around.
It does.
And, I was reading about, in the South, the Southeast, it's a pollen superstorm, is what they're calling it.
Well,
highest
like it.
pollen counts in history in some places, and it sure does feel like it. And it looks like it in my car too.
Yeah, you and I get bad allergies every
miserable.
spring. I know.
It's miserable, and then everybody in the house gets sick, and then it goes around, and it turns into a thing. And so I'm just trying to muddle through somehow, Krissy. That's all I'm trying to do.
We'll muddle through.
We'll muddle through somehow. Yes, we will. Hey, this is a couple weeks old now, but a sad note, and I think one that's important for the commercial break to touch on, because I kind of feel like this might be a predecessor. This might be a predecessor to the commercial break.
I think so.
Honestly, minus all the brawls and scripted bullshit. But Jerry Springer has passed away at age 79. When we're recording this, it was recently when he passed away, and I know it's been a couple weeks, but we record ahead of time. But I really think that we should give Jerry Springer some credit. Now, while I didn't enjoy the Jerry Springer show, it wasn't on my list of shows to watch. Unbelievably, me, Bryan Green, did not watch the Jerry Springer show. And eventually it was
a novelty in the beginning.
Totally.
I watched it because I was like, and he didn't start out as crazy.
No, it was a political talk show.
Okay.
He was the mayor of Cincinnati. And that's how he got famous.
That's right.
He was the mayor
right.
of Cincinnati for one term from 1977 through 81 or something like that.
Okay.
The mayor of Cincinnati, and then he became a popular talk show, like a political talk show host, a timely, topical talk show host in Cincinnati. And
Right.
he became very famous in Cincinnati for doing this particular radio show. Somebody offered him a TV show to do similar things that he was doing, and they would allow him to go into a couple markets around the Cincinnati area. So I think the show at first was just in 7 markets. Mainly Cincinnati was the driver of the viewership, and it was they would have Oliver North on and, other...
Old Ollie North.
Oh, good old Ollie North. The bastion of free speech and truth.
I just remember seeing, all this Ollie North stuff on when I was younger. Like that name just pops out because it was all over the news about. What was it that happened?
So you're asking the guy who always gets it wrong. What exactly? You're asking the guy who can't remember what he had for breakfast to talk about it.
Scandal.
Here's a funny personal story. Not funny, but an interesting personal story. When we moved here to Atlanta, my dad had a house that was built, and it was supposed to be ready by the time he moved the family down here. He got a new job, and so he started building this house about 6 months before we moved down. And the contractor told him, house will be ready.
Okay, boss.
Okay, boss, no problem, chief. I got you covered, chief.
You'll be ready 6 months, no worries.
That's right. So my dad would come down and visit and,
check on progress
and go into the office where he was now an employee and all this other stuff. Every time he would go to the house, it would be flooded and they would have made no progress. None whatsoever. Because what the contractor failed to tell my father, which he may or may not have known, he probably did, was that there was an underground stream running through where the foundation of the house was. And then it spat out on the other side of the house. So not only was it extremely dangerous to have children hanging around this stream that just dropped off into water, but then on top of that, it was eroding the foundation of the house, and they couldn't build on top. They kept on having trouble building on top of it. And so they had to pour the foundation a couple of times. A whole hot mess. So my dad told the contractor, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You know, he said, when the contractor said, hey, boss, my dad said, hey, you, boss. Hey, I'm your boss. Yes. And let me tell you something, not paying for your shitty water-filled house.
Yeah.
So, and it was in a cul-de-sac at the end of the cul-de-sac. So my dad picked a house up on the hill as far away from the creek as possible. He picked another, you know, the contractor let him pick another lot, and then they built that house. We lived in an apartment together, a 1-bedroom apartment, 6 people for an entire summer. It was hot and miserable, and it was no fun.
A hot summer, not in a good way.
We came into Atlanta hot.
Hot boy summer.
Yeah, that's right. We came into Atlanta hot in all the wrong ways. Like, let's stuff everybody in a corner, and hopefully they'll survive. We were sleeping on the floor. It was fucked up. But what I do remember clearly about that summer is the Ollie North trial that was on at the time. So this would have been 87 or maybe 88 or something like that. The Ollie North trial was on, the Senate hearings. And this went on for weeks and weeks and weeks. In my mind, it went on for weeks and weeks.
Yeah,
it was
I feel
never
like it went
ending.
On forever.
Yeah. Ollie North, apparently, it's Iran-Contra affair. They were apparently selling arms to fund the Mujahideen's offensive against the Russians who were trying to creep into Afghanistan, and they were doing that through Iran. And obviously, you know, it's not cool selling arms to Iran.
Right.
So, but he was apparently told by the president and his right-hand man to do this undercover, under the secrecy of night, and then he lied to this, whatever. You know.
I can't believe there was deception in politics.
It's hard to believe that a general would be selling arms for profit underneath the eyes of the watchful government.
Yeah.
It was a whole shit show, and it went on forever and ever, and whatever. I was young enough to not even understand any of it, but my mom, who is also has no fucking clue about politics, watched it, was glued to the TV because it was on every fucking channel for like 2 months. And so anyway, Jerry Springer would have these kind of politicians on, and, you know, he would talk about the hot button issues of the day. So the show started in 1991. Then in 92, it is picked up by NBC Universal, and NBC Universal gives him full syndication in all markets. So now he's able to be in all of the major markets, and the show does not do well. In its second season, it's kind of like,
Similar to how you first started the commercial break.
Yes.
With the real estate.
That's right.
Spin.
When I went the real estate
Commercial
spin.
real estate.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know.
The commercial break. The name came out of the fact that I wanted to do a podcast about the commercial real estate business. In your mind, you're probably thinking, wow, that would have been a whole different show. Probably better. Where's that version? We probably would have had more listeners. So, yeah, and just like Jerry Springer, now that NBC Universal has picked us up, we're super popular.
Right.
So he gets in this syndication, and in a drive for ratings. At that time, you have to understand the TV landscape. Afternoon television, daytime television is super popular on the backs of the females who are at home watching.
It was soap operas into the
Jenny Jones,
into Oprah. Oprah was huge.
Jerry Springer, People's Court. I mean, just Maury, go on and on and on. Phil Donahue.
Yes.
On and on
Sally
and on.
Jesse Raphael.
That's right. Sally Jesse Raphael, Ricky Lake Show, who's now doing another version of her show, by the way, as a podcast.
Okay.
So all of these shows are in the landscape, and they're all doing the exact same thing. They are interviewing people about lifestyle issues. I'm having trouble in bed. My husband's cheating on me. You know, I was sexually assaulted, and now I'm feeling better. You know, all these like super personal type things. Then occasionally have a celebrity guest on, and this was formulaic. And Oprah was leading the charge, and she was the queen of daytime television until Jerry started inviting on whoever was the trashiest human being on earth at that moment, and then told them, the wilder you can make it, the better it is. I don't care if it's honest. I don't care if it's truthful. And then they would actually script in the fights. So they would say, when he says that, you throw a chair at him, right? So they started scripting these things in.
And they made it look kind of real because they'd have the bodyguards, remember?
Yes.
Like the big guys that were on the sides. They would it would get
they would get into the fray.
They would let them go for a while, and then all of a sudden jump.
Well, because you can imagine you're like some trailer park person who's had 4 girlfriends or whatever the deal is, right? And then you show up and they say make it as wild as possible, and someone throws a chair at you. I don't care how scripted it is, you're gonna get pissed off eventually. Like the fight's gonna become real. It's kind of like wrestling, okay, it's a storyline, but once you start bleeding, you're kind of pissed off about shit, right? You're going to go for people for real. So they would let it go for a minute, and then they would back off. This was outrageous television at the time. People could not believe the topics that were on the show, and everyone, it was roundly denounced as the worst television show that had ever been there. Jerry Springer was the devil, and this had to get off the air. And as a matter of fact, was pulled off the air in a number of markets. And I'll tell you the name of the episode that really got things shaken up. For you ready?
Okay, yeah, I'm ready.
I'm not even going to let you venture a guess, because the first episode that pulled Jerry off the air for a period of time in most major markets, I Just Married My Horse. That was the name of the episode. I Just Married My Horse.
Okay.
Yes. So, and before
it's
that,
just another day in the life on, My Strange Love addiction or whatever. That's
it. And this is the point that I want to make is that like some of the
OG.
Some of the topics are my boyfriend turned out to be a girl. I met a lady online. She turned out to be a man. I want my boyfriend to stop watching so much porn. Like there's all these names of these episodes that now it's commonplace. Like at the commercial break, we review these type of stories all the time, and there's not a bit of backlash about it. And the reason is because Jerry made it something that we could talk about. So he's somewhere in all the craziness and bullshit and lies and scripting and all that stuff that, by the way, many people didn't know was scripted, because that's just not how television worked back then. You didn't know all the secrets.
No, you thought it was true.
Yeah, there wasn't internet paparazzi following you around every 5 seconds and getting the scoop 5 days before it even aired and all this other shit. And not many people understood reality television at that point, and it was just being formed. So many of these producers, they were like, it was like the Wild West. What can we do to get ratings? If we have to write it into a script, let's do that. But one of the things I have to say about the Jerry Springer show, like I think maybe the Howard Stern show and some of these other shows that were considered so raucous and just like I said, roundly denounced at the time, they broke through walls that otherwise may not have been broken through. You may not have liked the method, but the message behind it, under it, was it's okay to date a trans person. It's okay to have 3 lovers at the same time. Yeah. It's okay. What seemed like crazy television, and was, because you'd never seen it personally in your own home, you got desensitized and informed on the facts that many people... This is out there. People live different lifestyles. And so I have to applaud the Jerry Springer show in that sense. It may not have always come across as, non-judgmental. It may not have always come across in the best way. But because Jerry Springer put it on television, a lot of us now see the world in a whole different way. Our perspectives are different because that's not that big of a deal. Like, that's okay. Who fucking cares if he's dating a woman that is actually a man, a person that looks like a man, a woman that's actually a man? Who cares if you're marrying your horse? That's not a big deal.
Or even, paternity tests.
Yes, paternity tests.
Now, I mean, I know people personally that have found out through those, 23andMe and Ancestry that their dad is not their dad.
Yep.
And, because it was talked about on these shows, or specifically Jerry Springer first.
It's not so taboo.
It's not like, oh, you've never heard that before.
True. And it's less taboo because that's the way it works. And that's why that's where I think actual comedy has its place in this universe, is that you look at some of the comics, some of the great comics of our time who have been real poets, like Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock and
Eddie
Murphy and George Carlin. And there are
so many.
There are so many others that I could mention, and women too. By the way, I'm not just like naming all the males. There's so many comedians and comedians out there who go out and they present this dark satirical humor with topics that are considered taboo, and everyone giggles and laughs. And when they're laughing, it means you're getting to them, right? It's your guard is down. You're understanding something you didn't understand. They're presenting it in a new way. It's a very progressive form of art. And a lot of times, the comedians are the ones who are leading the charge with the progressiveness or sharing with you their perspective that's totally different than we had heard before.
I agree.
And Jerry Springer, I think, was one of those people. So I do have to applaud him. Now, all of that said, the Jerry Springer show, in retrospect, is still a total fucking shit show. I mean, when you watch it now, it's because I went back and watched a few minutes of some episodes, and I'm like, wow.
Well, and now it's even taken a place like in the lexicon of people's, view of the world. Like, oh my God, that's so Jerry Springer.
So Jerry Springer.
Like, look at all the drama. Look at all the craziness.
The nuttiness.
Jerry Springer.
Yeah. And like, also, I think I watched a video, and I think this person on Instagram might be right. I think Jerry Springer may have presented the very first ever publicly understood, known, seen catfishing story from MySpace back in like 1993
MySpace.
or 4. So whenever MySpace got on there. Now, could it have been scripted? Probably was, right? But they presented a story. I met this person, looked completely different. And then when they showed up in person, it ended up being a man in dressed as a woman, right? But the reality was they may have presented the first ever online catfishing story on the public airwaves. And it's just so crazy to think. So Jerry ended his show in 2018, and there are a million spinoffs. Some of them still going.
Was it still going through 2018?
I didn't have any clue. I don't remember even thinking about Jerry Springer in the 2000s. Like, I really don't. After 9/11, I just think that Jerry Springer was no longer a person I paid attention to. But I do have to say that that's one hell of a run from 91 to 2018.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he died at 79 years old, apparently of pancreatic cancer, which is a tough way to go. But isn't that how Steve Jobs went too? Steve Jobs went of pancreatic cancer, didn't he?
Was it pancreatic? I know he had cancer.
Or was it liver cancer? No, I think it was pancreatic cancer.
I mean, that's
one of those bad ones.
Yeah,
you don't want pancreatic cancer. I mean, you don't want any cancer, but pancreatic cancer, certainly not. So Jerry, you've got to give your hats off to him for breaking down walls. I don't think he necessarily made great content. I think I've told this story before. I had friends in high school that were on the Jerry Springer show multiple times, basically with the same story that was basically brewed up in a conversation while they were high one time at home. Like they said, wouldn't it be crazy if my best friend was sleeping with her best friend, was sleeping with his best friend, was sleeping with the dog, and they made up this whole story.
Somebody's pregnant. We don't know who the dad is.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, now that's just commonplace. Apparently, you just don't tell anybody who your dad is. So they wrote the Jerry Springer show, I don't know, emailed or wrote or whatever they did back in the time, right out of high school. And I remember hearing that some people I went to high school with were on the Jerry Springer show and getting a hold or finding that on television and watching it and going, that is such horseshit. We went to Catholic school. I know that girl. She didn't sleep with anybody. And that guy, he certainly didn't get laid. This is such bullshit. It was all bullshit. But they let them run with it on Jerry Springer. And when confronted with the fact that, hey, this is clearly not a real story, right? They were like, oh, no, of course it's not. We just made it up. But the producers never fact-checked not one thing.
Oh, no, you just said it, and then they put it on.
And they flew him up to Chicago, and apparently it was a wild night. Like, they flew him up 2 days before, and then the night before the show, apparently it was a wild night where some of the assistant producers went out with them and then egged them on. Like, we're egging the story on. Yeah. Like,
go with that. Go
I was
with
sleeping
that.
with my dog, and then he shit on your dick? Yeah. Well, he didn't really shit on my dick. No, he shit on your dick. Even though you didn't know he shit on your dick, he shit on your dick. He did it. He shit on your dick, literally. And so they were like egging him on to this craziness.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, this was like, and I got to remember, I'm like a 20-year-old Bryan. This is my first indication that this reality show world is not quite the way it is. As a guy who almost made it onto season 4 of The Real World, had they ever opened the video I sent them, I would have certainly been a lock.
Had they ever opened the video?
As a guy who almost was on season 4, 5, 6, and 7 of The Real World.
Almost.
Yeah, they were probably like, another video for Bryan. Put it in the pile. Rob Dyrdek can use it on his show 20 years in the future when we focus on idiots sending us stupid videos. I never forget. I sent that tape in, man. So you send in You send in a form.
Yes.
You write in, and then they write you back, and then you write in again. They ask you all these questions, and you have to write the answers. And then on the third one, they asked for a video, I think is how it went, right? And I remember taking my dad's like huge camcorder and standing in front of it like, hi, I'm Bryan Green from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm really excited to be on The Real World because I also live in the real world.
Compelling.
I'm a singer in a band called 33 Peanuts. I wanted to be that rocker guy from the first season, and then I wanted to be Puck from the second season.
Puck. Oh my God, I remember Puck.
Yeah, too bad he ended up being a neo-Nazi or some shit. Wasn't he? Didn't he end up being like a real creepy motherfucker? Yeah, but at first I was like, I could be Puck. I could spit in people's drinks. That's cool, man. That's cool. I was so willing to do whatever Real World wanted me to do. And I think that's mainly why I didn't get on the show is because they were like, this guy is not authentic in any way, shape, or form. He's saying anything and everything. I'm in a band. I'm super cool. Here, look at my chest hair.
Look at my body.
Look at my body. Look at me in a swimsuit. That probably did it for him. They were like, nope. That is not brand safe. Whatever that is not brand safe.
You should have sent your tape into Jackass, right?
Oh, man. I'll tell you what. And then one time here, the local radio station had this contest where they were, I think I told this story too, where everyone was for 3 years, the Morning X, which was like the most popular local radio show in the country for years.
On 99X?
Yeah, the Morning X. Yeah. And they were, 99X was the first radio station to flip alternative back in the 90s. Playing only Pearl Jam, Screaming Trees, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Nirvana, any of the whole 9 yards, right? So they had this contest in the morning where they would put 7 people in a car in a mall, and whoever was the last one in the car won the car.
Wait, 7 people in a car in a mall?
In a mall. The car was parked in the mall.
Inside the mall?
Inside the Lenox Mall. Yeah, it was parked inside a Lenox Mall, and then the 7 people would live in this car, and the last one standing would win the car. So this might go on for a week or 2, right?
Yeah.
And they were only allowed out for, I think it was...
you just had to sit in the car?
With 7 other people 24 hours a day. That's insane. Are you kidding me?
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's all you could do is sit in the car?
Dude, one
and eat?
hairy ass fart, and I'm out of there. I'm like, see you later. I'm done. So they had this whole audition process for like year number 3 or 4. And it was at a bar. They would go around to a couple different bars. You would stand up, and one or all 3 of the morning show members would ask questions in front of an audience. You would answer, and then, whatever. So I waited. I went to one of these bars. I waited for like 2. I got my number. I was lucky enough to get a number. I was so convinced this was my thing. This was serendipitous. Yeah. This was all the stars aligning. I was going to become famous because I was sitting in a car full of farts and Cheetos for 7 days on the local radio station.
Oh, dreams.
Oh, the dreams.
The dreams
how they fizzle. How they fizzle and fade.
Aspirations.
Yeah, aspirations are right. So I get up on my number is like 212, right? And so it starts at 9, and by 11:30, I am shit wasted. Me and the friend who had taken me had like 5 pitchers of beer. We were so hammered. I was so incredibly intoxicated, and they called my number. I was also so incredibly nervous. So they call my number.
That sounds like when I did the Hotel Impossible.
Yes, exactly like when you did Hotel Impossible. Only imagine that 3 more hours of drinking.
Okay.
Okay. So you see, you got a clear picture of what's going on?
I do.
Okay. You've seen me drunk a lot. Imagine me the most drunk you've ever seen me, right? Which I don't know when that would have been, but you've certainly been there. Mm-hmm. The most drunk I have ever been, and take it like 15% further.
Wow.
So I was hammered. I got up there, and I don't remember one fucking question that was asked. I don't remember one fucking response I gave. But I know this. Lots of people spent a couple minutes up there. I did not even spend a minute up there. They were like, okay, thank you. And I get off stage, and I'm walking off stage, and there's a camera right in my face. It's like, hey, we're with Georgia Tech, and we're recording this for our local whatever. Tell us why you tell us why you want to do farts in a car. And I was like,
How often do you masturbate?
7 times. I was so drunk. I know that tape is floating around somewhere, and I know eventually it's going to come out, so I'm just warning people. It's probably ugly. It's probably not good.
God.
It's probably not good.
Hey, my dad went to Georgia Tech, so maybe I could get access somehow to those archives.
Yeah, you got to imagine those guys at Georgia Tech, they're not throwing things away. That's not the kind of people that throw things away. They can always use it for something, right? So it's probably sitting in some archive somewhere.
Yep.
1999, Bryan Green, super shit-faced. If you go to Georgia Tech, Google that in your archives there and see, do your little search thing and see if that comes up. And just before you play it, just give me the heads up.
Yeah, exactly.
I can go underground for a couple of years. So I can warn my wife. I can get the divorce attorney involved sooner rather than later.
Warn the school.
Yes.
Your children's
That's
schools.
Right. As if it's not bad enough.
He thought he was just doing a podcast, but there's more.
That's right. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the special meeting of the school. I'd like to now allow Bryan to come up and talk a few words. Shit's gonna hit the fan. Right. There's probably gonna be a lot of press around. People are gonna want to pay you a lot of money to say bad things about me, and I understand if you got to do it. I really do. Just please, let my children stay at this school. I'm going to go hide out in Mexico for a couple of years. Just forget I was ever here.
Right.
I mean, honestly, I can't even imagine what's on that tape. It's probably really bad. But I'd be interested in seeing it if somebody has it.
I would too.
So we'd pay money to get that here. Yeah, I'd pay money and I promise to play it. I just want to edit it a little bit.
Right.
And now, the special presentation of Bryan from the Morning X Audition Show. Thank you. Our special edited version of Bryan Green.
Wait, I have a question. Did you ever see the people that actually won from this specific interview?
Were there people in the room that got up and talked? Did they win?
Well, did you ever kind of like follow up to see who actually got into the car? Like, did you go
I
visit
listened
the
to
people in the car?
I listened to it. No, I didn't go visit the people in the car.
I was so emotional.
No, that was me. I was supposed to be there. You want an eighth? I'll tell you what, we'll switch out and we'll split the car. Yeah. Tag me in. They'll never notice. But I was concerned. I was a cigarette smoker at the time. I was concerned about how you smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, you can't.
And so I actually asked the question of one of the DJs, like on the break or something. I was like, hey, how do you get a cigarette in? And they said, well, you can take a smoke break every once in a while. I was like, oh, okay, good. So with the passing of Jerry Springer, I thought we should let's take a minute and let's review an old Jerry Springer segment. What do you think?
It. Yeah, no, I like that.
For those of our audience who
in
probably
remembrance.
Way too young. I know so many people who wouldn't even have been teenagers when this show was hot. Like they're not even children. Maybe they're so young. It started in 1991, and I don't mean to date myself, but as a 2-year-old back then, I was really. It took me a couple of years to get. I'm just trying to make myself sound younger. I'm not. Okay, so without further ado, TCB. Hey you, yes you, I hate to interrupt all the fun, but I just want to remind you that tcbpodcast.com is where you find all the audio and the video, plus you can contact us to get your free 21 EPM sticker. Just go to tcbpodcast.com, hit the contact us button, tell us you want a sticker, drop us your address, and off we go. Plus, you can write to us at 855-TCB-8383. That's 1-855-TCB-8383. For all of our international listeners, we'll pick up the toll. Go ahead and text us. If you have comments, questions, concerns, content ideas, we're taking them all at 855-TCB-8383. If you want to view The Commercial Break in a whole new light, go to youtube.com/The Commercial Break to see the fully edited episodes. You'll love it or your money back, I promise. While you're at it, hit us up on Instagram at The Commercial Break and TCB Live on TikTok. So let's take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then we'll be back to this episode of The Commercial Break. TCB. I was trolling on the internet.
As you do.
As I do. And I'd like to review a Jerry Springer segment. Let's all watch this together and we'll figure out what it's all about. How's that?
Okay, sounds good.
Harry says he's hoping to charm his way into his girlfriend's heart.
Aww.
Harry, what's going on?
Jay, I'm an 18-year-old man that's madly in love with my girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, good
that's
for you.
right.
How long have
Wait. That's right. I forgot this about the show, too. The audience was very involved.
Yeah, they encouraged involvement,
Yes,
screaming
very.
and yelling and
Oohing and eyeing.
oohing and eyeing, and sometimes throwing chairs at people.
Yes.
Yeah, the audience is just as wild as I actually think you're right about this. This is a big important part of the show that we didn't touch on. Is the audience was encouraged to be just as wild.
Yes,
and that was a big part of the success of the show. I think is you tuned in just to see how the audience was going to react.
Right, and they were feeding. Then the guests were
yeah.
feeding then off of the
Totally.
audience, and there was a whole room of shit show.
So yeah,
hot mess.
Everyone from the host. To the executive assistant producer, they were all shitheads and they were all working toward the same goal of making it as outrageous as possible.
That's right.
You've been going with her?
About a year and 1 day.
Oh, wow. Yep. So yesterday was your anniversary?
Yes, it was.
Why do we congratulate people for their anniversary? Honestly. Days come, days go, they pass. Like, is there a certain, like, I don't know. It always seems like a silly thing. Except for when it's my anniversary with my wife, Astrid. She is beautiful, and I love her very much.
That's right.
I will never leave her.
And you're here with that in your hand? What is that?
It's a proposal gift. It's actually a bracelet.
Ooh, very nice.
A charm
Ooh,
bracelet.
nothing like the proposal bracelet.
A charm bracelet?
Yeah, charm bracelet.
Whoa.
Will you marry me?
Does it have, like, I remember charm bracelets. They were big with girls.
Oh, yeah.
A long time ago, but back in the old-timey days.
When you used to have the little...
But yeah, you would have a bracelet, and it would have little, open it, little holes, and you would collect the charms then, and one would be bought for each milestone of something. So I'm picturing, like, the charm bracelet. Does it have, like, little wedding bells?
Yeah, of course. Nothing says I love you and I'd like to get married to you like a charm bracelet.
They would clink around.
Yeah, like a charm bracelet from Walmart. Of course, I'm talking to one of my friends about their daughter going to the Taylor Swift concert, and she bought enough bracelets to cover all the way to her shoulder so she can give them out.
Wow,
yeah.
Nice.
For her anniversary.
As if the $7,000 for the ticket wasn't enough. Her mom had to go pay for $3,500
for your
bracelets.
Anniversary. You're
giving
it to her.
Actually, I'm going to be proposing to her.
Oh. Wow. Okay. Well, good for you. And I assume everything's going really well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
You love her?
Well. I love her very much.
Where did you?
Yeah, we're doing great. Ooh. Caught her with my dad's dick in her mouth the other day. I said, hey, what's going on? And she said, I'm trying to be part of the family. I said, that's wonderful. Here's my charm bracelet. Will you marry me?
Well, let me point out, too, that the name of this episode is
Too Lazy to Leave.
So where's this going? Because he doesn't seem like he wants to leave.
I don't know, but thank God, like, Astrid's too lazy to leave.
Nice meet.
We met on Facebook, but she did a To Be Honest post, and that's basically tells your honest opinion of how she feels about somebody.
Yeah.
She wanted to get to know me better, thought I was a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be thirsty. I'm not going to sit there and just keep hitting her up. So I left it at that, and I ended up finding out we had some mutual friends. I asked her how she knew him, and we started talked for a little bit, and we actually started dating. First time we ever hung out, I met her dad. Shook his hand, he gave me a curfew, I had her back on time, and then I waited a couple days, and
How old is this girl? Shook her hand, her dad gave her a curfew?
Yeah.
Yeah, first of all. Second of all, I love origin stories, like how people have met and they fell in love. I'm already asleep on this one.
No.
Cares?
I brought her over to my house. I lived with my grandma at the time.
Yeah.
I introduced her to my grandma. My grandma was absolutely in love with her. My grandma doesn't like anybody, honestly.
They're meeting each other's families
That's
on the
good.
first date? You said the first
No,
date?
they said they'd been dating for a while, and he brought her
I
over
thought
to
he said on
meet
the first
grandma. And, no, well, unless I missed it. But either way, who cares? We're already asleep on this origin story. Okay, you met on Facebook like everybody else.
So
my
that's a
grandma
good sign.
knew something about her, and she liked it a lot.
Yeah.
And I knew right then and there, I was like, my grandma doesn't like anyone. This has to mean something.
Yeah.
So I went with it.
Yeah, it's kind of like when my dog sniffs somebody when they come in the door. I'm like, this means something. This means something. I love when you're dating somebody and they're like, you meet their animal for the first time and they're like, they never like anybody.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do? Gnaw off someone's balls when they walk in the door? How do you know the difference? You shouldn't trust your dog's intuition. I mean, please, if your dog starts growling at somebody, you should pay attention.
Yeah.
But just because they allow someone to pet them doesn't mean you got to marry them.
That's it.
And a great year.
It's been an amazing year.
Okay. So, well, good luck to you with the proposal. That's super. What's your name, Miranda?
So Miranda. So here we have set up this whole premise that this guy is in love. He met somebody. This is how the Jerry Springer Show rolls, by the way. Either he's in on it, the guest, or everybody else in the audience understands that when this guy is setting this up to do a proposal live on air, that means she's going to say
going
no.
Down.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Here's Miranda.
Okay, here comes Miranda, attractive girl.
Yeah.
Here she comes. The crowd's already ready for a fight. They're hoping she just comes out and hits him right away. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, little kissing.
I got you a gift for our anniversary. It's been an amazing year, and I love you so much. But I'm going to explain to you what it is. It's a bracelet.
I got it from the bowling alley in one of the claws. I spent $7 worth of quarters trying to find that bracelet.
It's hard to get those things
That's
with the
right.
claw.
And now, with my grandmother's approval, I'd like to invite you to be married on Facebook. Listen to his voice, huh, Krissy?
I know.
He's just a kind Midwestern boy. We met on Facebook. I texted her, and then she texted me back, hello. And then when she texted hello, I said, hi, it's nice to meet you. She also said the same thing. Then I also told her that I live in Livingston. She said she lived in over the river. And so we had to make a Shut up! This guy needs a class in storytelling.
From that other thing.
From the
we
other guy.
reviewed.
Yeah, that's
Bravo.
Right. Bravo.
They're
I'll start with
clinky.
the first one. Here's a 1. It's our 1-year anniversary in one day. An M for you, Miranda. A wine glass, since we do like to drink sometimes.
A wine glass, since Grandma lets me have some wine with dinner sometimes. Here's a Robitussin bottle for our favorite Friday night activity, drinking Robitussin. Here is a black mamba dildo for our favorite sex toy.
That's right.
And here's a picture of my grandma, because I like to watch Grandma when we're having sex, just to make sure she knows that I love her.
The P for me, Perry.
For penis.
And then
Perry's
a little
penis.
heart that
Perry's little penis. Perry's pee-pee.
opens, because my heart is always open for you.
And here's a picture of your vagina, hoping your vagina's always open for me. Will you marry me? Thanks, Krissy. This is my new favorite character. It's my new favorite character because it's easy on my voice when I'm sick.
That's right.
I picked the perfect clip.
Yeah, we'll use that one.
Yeah, we might have to do the second.
What's his name again?
I'm gonna have to do another episode in character. I have no idea what my name is. It's Perry. Don't you remember? Perry.
That's right.
Perry's penis. Perry's little pee-pee.
This one says always and forever, because I will always and forever love you. And
Who approved of all this talking on the Jerry Springer Show? I'm just wondering.
X and the O's for hugs and kisses, because I always love to do that with you. And then a heart
Jerry's
and key.
like,
Jerry's like, can you get on with it? All right.
Let's keep this rolling.
I'm in my 33rd year of doing this show.
Yeah,
and if I know one thing, it's you are not letting people are tuning out all over the country. You can literally hear people clicking off the TV. It's kind of why I picked this clip, because it's so mundane, but hang tight.
Oh, yeah.
You have the key to my heart.
You also have the keys to my apartment, so you're going to have to start paying some rent.
See your hand.
It's very nice.
Jared is very nice.
Can I see your hand? It's very nice. Our producers did a good job buying it for you.
Yeah.
Miranda, will you marry me?
Why did they bleep that out?
Because they don't want her last name on television.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know I've cheated on you.
You do know I've cheated on you.
It's okay. I like watching. I know you sent me the videos, and I actually enjoy them, if I've got to be honest. I'd like to cuckold for the rest of the relationship. Yeah, I'd like to introduce my boyfriend, David. I put a D on here for David's dick. That's your boyfriend, and I would like to touch his dick. Oh, wait, what did he say? Hold on a second. I think he said that's in the past. Don't worry, that's in the past.
Yeah, he said that was in the past.
Wow.
Yeah, but
That was 6 months ago.
that's not the only time.
Jerry goes, what?
Well, that's it.
Here we go.
Thank God we got off the bracelet bit. Now we're getting into some meat and potatoes.
Here we go.
Listen, I could take it when you cheated on me 6 days ago, but if you're telling me there's one from last night, that's where I draw the line. He was okay with the other cheating. Now she's like, that's not the only one.
Yeah.
And clearly she's acting.
I cheated on you with TJ.
TJ.
I've also slept with TJ. What's the big deal?
Who's TJ?
My friend TJ?
No, your brother TJ. Your dad TJ. TJ, your dog.
We've hung out before though, so it's not like it was a big difference.
What?
Oh, it's not like it's a big difference. TJ and I hung out before. I mean, I figured if we're hanging out, might as well let him slip his cock in me. Yeah,
might as well have sex.
Yeah, slip it in. Why not? We're just friends.
We're hanging out.
Yeah.
You seriously live under me and my mom's roof. You just bore me. Like I see you every and you just don't excite me anymore.
I can't understand what's not exciting about this. Look at the total package. I've got both man boobs and pants that I've been wearing since 1997. What is not exciting? Tell me how I can change it. You want me to repeat our origin story? I thought that was exciting.
Well, you know why I don't excite you? Because I'm working for us for our future. I'm working every day. I'm trying to make a future for us.
But
Well, I think you missed one big part here, bud, is that you can be working for the future and totally ignore the pillars of your relationship. And that's what Bryan has done with the commercial break. Thank God we got some listeners now, or I probably would have a wife.
when you leave your job for 2 months and just to hound over me, just to watch over my shoulder, it's not worth it.
You realize why I did that, right? It's because that was the first time you cheated on me. I couldn't trust you. I had no trust for you.
Yeah, because I knew if I would to go out, I would cheat on you.
Wow. Well, I guess you got your answer there, but I don't think she's going to say yes to the marriage proposal. Just throwing that out there.
I don't think there's any convincing.
Yeah, but if you're going to stay with someone, here's my opinion about cheating. If someone shows you who they are and they cheat on you, and you decide to stay, you cannot lord it over them for the rest of their lives. Because that will for sure kill the relationship. Yes. So taking 2 months off work to lord over her to make sure she doesn't go anywhere, it's kind of weird, bro. It's kind of strange.
Also, I thought he was working towards the future. What happened to the job?
Well, I was working toward the future. Now my job is watching you. Let's go to the grocery store together. Do you have to take a shit? Okay, I'll be in the bathtub. I'll be in the bathtub, just making sure everything's okay.
Well, we have to make sacrifices, don't we? For a relationship?
Yeah.
You know everything I've sacrificed for you? Yeah, I sacrificed some 2 months from my job. I quit hanging out with all my friends. I quit smoking weed for you.
The bottom says quit job so he could keep an eye on Miranda.
Quit job so Miranda can be given. He quit smoking weed for her. I used to be super exciting. I used to go out and do stuff, and now I quit smoking weed. I lost all my motivations. I used to play video games 27 hours a day. Now I'm only into 23.
I quit everything for you.
We didn't know.
I quit everything for you.
You just don't excite me. Like with TJ, It's different. We actually go out and do stuff. You don't.
You know why?
How did he miss TJ?
Yeah, how did he miss TJ?
He's quit his job specifically to focus on watching her.
If after 2 months of watching her and she's still cheating on you with your best friend.
Yeah, it's a surprise. What?
Hey, where are you going? I'm going to fuck TJ. Okay, well, just be careful. Did she say going to fuck TJ? Or good luck TJ? I couldn't quite hear it. I'll be here playing World of Warcraft. See you soon. I quit smoking weed. I'm going through a real hard time. Can you stay home tonight? No! TJ rides hard and fast. You're an asshole. You and my mom can stay here and watch Jerry Springer.
Because I'm working for our future. I'm not working just to have fun and parties whenever I want. I'm doing things for us, not for the moment. I'm looking for the future.
You should look for the future. It's probably headed your way.
Yeah. You might want to find a different future path.
Yeah, I think you're about to find a future fiance because this girl does not sound at all. First of all, if this is at all real, which it's not, but let's say it was, she is a real bitch. Like, you don't have to break the news to him like this. You could be like, hey, bro, not working for me, but thank you. Or...
No, Bryan, you have to do it on Jerry Springer.
And I know it's the only
just
place.
The way it goes.
If she won't say yes while I'm lording over her at home,
it's not real unless you do it on Springer.
Of course, it's not. That's her mom's favorite show. If you can't win her over at home in front of her mother, then you got to go on Jerry Springer. At a little bit of additional pressure. No pressure, just millions of people across the United States.
No, it's fine.
No, it's just
Did you kind of notice that maybe there was no electricity there recently?
No, not really.
You thought she was being real passionate.
I also didn't notice that she was fucking TJ.
Yeah. I had no idea.
I have no clue what's going on, apparently.
Jerry goes, hey, did you notice the electricity was off? No, I mean the actual electricity. Whatever future you're working for doesn't include electricity. Yeah, I mean, how do you not know he's fucking? I don't know.
Well,
yeah.
We live together, so it is like the
me and my mom's roof though, and he doesn't do anything. He comes home from his job and he sits and plays video games all day.
I knew it.
Not for the last 2 months.
Well, he said they cheated. He cheated on her 6 months ago, and then he took off 2 weeks. Hello?
Where are you? Miranda.
I always feel like somebody's watching me. Hello?
I told you not to watch me showering, TJ.
Perry.
I'm just making sure you're okay. You know how TJ likes to sneak in the shower.
There's that window.
TJ's right here.
How did you get in there?
I didn't notice.
I'm fucking your broad, dude. Go back to World of Warcraft. It's all good. We'll hang out tomorrow night.
I love you, Miranda.
I have to clean up after him like I'm his mother, but I'm 18. I want to go have friends, and I don't anymore because I've lost them because of you.
Yeah. Well, I work every day.
Well, that doesn't matter to her. She wants other things.
He hasn't been working.
Yeah, he hasn't been working. Well,
he quit his job.
No, he worked for... I think you're missing the timeline here. It was 6 months ago when she cheated. Then he took off 2 months. Now he's back to work. Yeah. I know it's confusing to keep up with this story because, quite frankly, this is a very boring man. When he talks, I tune out. I'm like, whatever. I can understand. I can understand what she's saying.
Come home because I want to relax. I don't want to just go home, like work every day.
But I shouldn't have to clean up after you.
Well, what do you do at home? You don't work, so I would expect you to do stuff at home.
Fucking TJ's hard work.
Yeah.
I mean, he's demanding.
What are you doing? I'm sucking off your friend. That's the spice of my life. What are you doing? I'm helping your mom vacuum the foyer. When I come home from a long day at World of Warcraft, I expect my meals to be made. It's just one of those things. Can't you envision a future with me? Come on, Miranda. Do you want TJ, the coke dealing asshole who knows everybody at the bar and drives that Corvette? Or do you want Perry and his pee-pee, his Perry penis, living with your mom, playing World of Warcraft, and working at least 3 hours a day with my online MLM company.
You too can be a millionaire.
I've been selling what are those spandex? What are those spandex all the girls hated? That, you know what I'm talking about, the MLM company?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, God, they did a whole series.
I don't want to say the wrong name because
on Amazon, but yeah.
It's not Lululemon.
No,
that's a very legitimate company.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it like, I don't know, whatever it is.
I forget what it was. 'Cause I never wore them, so I don't know. But
I'm selling AG1 all over the place.
All right, here's TJ.
Oh, they got TJ?
We got TJ. Oh.
What's up?
For those of you, what's up? And now security's on stage as if Perry's going to do anything. The guy's barely got a heartbeat. First of all, TJ walks in and he's Billy Badass. He's got sleeve tattoos. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see why TJ
necklace on.
Yeah. Yeah, look at her. She's wet already.
Yeah.
She's like, fight.
How you gonna do this?
I told you what it was.
Man, I thought we were cool, bro.
I told you multiple times, man. Multiple times. I told you the girl's hot. There's multiple dudes out there that would kill to be with her, including me, man. Like,
I forgot to tell you, I happen to be one of those dudes looking to fuck her. And then I just so happened to be fucking her. So, I told you multiple times. I tried to tell you. I said, hey, man, you want to go to Starbucks and get some coffee? What I really meant was I'm putting my dick inside your girl. I told you. I tried to tell you.
But you were real with me. You kept it real with me, man. I thought I could trust you because you're like my older brother. I've always looked up to you.
Man.
You give me all the advice.
Man,
don't
I just like your girl's pussy. Yeah. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I don't got a good comeback. I just like that pussy. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And why do all these guys... I just hate the... Now I won't even say it.
oh, you a little bitch. I mean, what am I mean, you don't...
I mean, what am I supposed to do? You a little bitch. Your girlfriend pussy hot. I don't know. What's a guy supposed to do? I'm forced to fuck your girlfriend. That's what I got to say. Someone got to take care of it. I love this reasoning. You're a little bitch, so I fucked your girl. You my boy. I tried to tell you. You my boy. You as white as the driven snow, bro. You ain't nobody's boy.
Nothing, man. What type of man lets her girl go skinny dipping with nothing but a bunch of men? Like, who does that, bro?
Who does that? I happen to be one of the bros skinny dipping with your girl. And my dick slipped in. It happens. The fuck, bro? You little bitch.
Dude.
But I was there.
I mean, still, regardless of the fact, man, that's not the point. My point is, what do you...
Regardless of the fact, that's not the point.
Regardless of that fact.
Right, regardless of that fact. I don't like that fact, so regardless of it, it's ridiculous.
What do you do for her? I mean,
I'm working every day.
Do you support her?
Yeah, I support her.
She tell me different.
Well, how's that?
Do you want to be with her?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, kind of. In a fuck kind of way.
Now you put me on the spot,
yeah, sure. Like in a slide your dick in and out kind of way. Like a skinny dipping tag team kind of multiple tag team spit roast kind of, making money on Pornhub kind of way. Yeah, of course. She got a great ass. He's a little bitch. What else am I going to do? He's my boy, but he's also a bitch. And I happen to like his bitch, so, we're doing it together.
Jerry, I do.
Yeah? Well, what do you do for her other than partying with her all the time?
I fuck her! I give her orgasms? I don't know.
I mean,
partying is not supporting her.
She tell me, I told her, tell me what you want to do. If you want to be in a relationship with me, I support you. I work every day for a living. I got a good job, man. Like, I'm a man. What do you do? She comes to me and cries to me and complains to me about you. Always complaining, always never doing nothing.
She complains to me about you complaining to her.
She complains to me and I put my dick in her mouth and I say, shut up, bitch. He my boy. That's my boy. He's a little bitch. Suck on his nuts. First of all. Second of all, he said, tell me what you want to do. I'll support you. I'd like to get my girlfriend back. Is that okay? How do you feel about that?
Bro, come on, man.
Oh, poor guy.
Every day. You see me going out spending money on No, I do everything myself. I got car problems. I work on my own car. Got something going on around the house. It was like technical issues. I'll fix it myself.
The question:
your tennis shoes are broken and you'll fix them yourself?
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he did. He said, I got my tennis shoes problem. I'll fix it myself. A tennis shoe problem.
You know.
I've never said, my tennis shoes are broken. I got to fix them this weekend. Man, my Puma's all fucked up. I got to get those in the shop.
Yeah. There's like the honey-do list.
Yeah. Fix broken shoes.
Fix roof. Fix the filter
change
of the pool.
oil. Right.
Yeah.
Shoes.
Fix shoes.
Fix my scroungy ass shoes. I got to put new laces on and shit. I've never heard something so stupid in my life. My shoes are broken. I'll fix them. Well, credit to you, my friend.
Yeah,
you do have a lot of
money.
You do have a lot of time on your hands.
I'm not saying don't work hard or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. The question is, I don't sense that she's really in love with you, and if there's no romance there at this age, I don't know what kind
18.
of future.
Yeah, she's 18.
I mean,
yeah, you should never marry an 18-year-old at all. You want to know why? Because you're a different person.
Yes. 5
years from then, and then 5 years
yes.
from then. I read an interesting thing. You know, who's the lady who does that podcast about relationships? The famous podcaster. I want to say Ethel Merman, but it's not Ethel Merman. Esther,
Okay.
Esther, whatever her name is. Anyway, she's like a famous relationship psychiatrist. She's a couple therapist. She does live sessions and puts it into podcast format so you can listen to these conversations that are going on. It's super fascinating. I saw her on a clip or something, and she said you should never feel settled when your relationship, because every 10 years, or what she really said was every 8 years, human beings are completely different in an 8-year cycle. And I think that's true.
It was 7 years, but yeah. 8.
Yeah, whatever. 7, 8.
The 7-year itch.
Yeah, this girl at 21 years old is going to not be the same human being. So don't worry about it, bro.
She's 18.
Yeah, she's 18. Move on. It's all good. First of all. Second of all, why are these grown-ass men hounding after this 18-year-old?
It seems there's more going on there than there is here.
Look, man, if you would have been real with me, honestly, you're supposed to be my bro, and this is my girl. You feel me?
I told you from the jump.
But look.
I told you from the jump I was going to fuck her.
The jump.
I said, dude, don't get too comfy. I'm coming in behind. Don't get too comfy. I'm coming in behind. I'm hot. I'm coming in hot. I told you from the jump. I was going to fuck your girl.
I'm going to start saying the jump.
Hey,
more.
bro. Yeah.
Carl.
Hey, Perry. Yo, it's me, TJ. Listen, I just want to give you a call and let you know I'm going to fuck your girl. Okay, talk to you soon. See you at the party? Bet.
Bet.
We could have had a three-way or something, you feel me?
What?
Yeah, we could have had a three-way.
He's getting desperate now.
I think you're real hot. I've been meaning to suck your dick. I've been meaning to suck your dick.
I don't share, man.
Yeah. I usually don't either, but when it's like my brother, man, I love you something.
Yeah, okay, all right, I get it. We get it. We know what happens. Oh my gosh. There's a little taste of one of the more demure Jerry Springer shows, so you can imagine how crazy it gets. Do yourself a favor. Dig around YouTube. You'll find lots.
We're telling you from the jump.
We're telling you from the jump. Telling you from the jump, I'm going to fuck your girl. I love it. I love the honesty. At least TJ didn't hold back.
From the jump.
Well, I mean, when you're invited on the Jerry Springer show to talk about your love triangle that the other one's not aware of, I guess honesty is the best policy at that point. Yeah. When they clear the chairs off stage, that means it's serious.
Install the bodyguards.
Yeah, and install the bodyguards. It's serious. But I don't think that Perry was ever a threat, because that guy, honestly, it's me, Perry. Just here to hang out with everybody. Poor Perry. I do feel bad for him. But I also feel bad for Jerry Springer's family. Love him, hate him, take him, leave him, whatever it is. From the jump, I told you Jerry was crazy. So I told you I was going to fuck Jerry.
He's an OG.
Yeah, he's an OG. God bless him. On your way, my man. See you soon. Thanks for all the good times. We certainly appreciate it. TCBpodcast.com. That's where you go to find out more information about Krissy and I when we pass away. You can listen to all the audio. You can watch all the video. You can get your 21 EPM sticker by hitting the Contact Us button. Email us your physical address with your name so that we can send it off to you. And we'll do that. We do that every week. We send out a package of a bunch of them. So, and if you don't get yours, and it's been a couple of weeks, and this has happened, it's the U.S. Post Office. So, shit happens. If you don't get yours in a couple weeks and you've already written in, make sure to write in again and say you didn't get it, and we'll make sure we send you out a new one. No problem. We're just wasting a bunch of postage here on your behalf.
Yeah, use that tracking number.
Yeah, use that tracking number. The tracking number. You think we're paying for tracking numbers? Jesus. 855-TCB-8383. 1-855-TCB-8383. That's where you go to send us a text message. Questions, comments, concerns, content ideas. We're taking them all. And toll-free from anywhere around the world. We'll pick up the charges. TCB Podcast on TikTok. Please go and follow us at The Commercial Break on Instagram. And YouTube.com/The Commercial Break for fully edited video episodes. It's a completely different show when you watch it online. And we'd love you to do that. And do subscribe, on your favorite video. Okay, Krissy, I guess that's all my voice is going to take today. So I love you.
I love you.
Best to you.
And best to you.
And best to you out there in the podcast universe. Until next time, Krissy and I always say, we do say, and we must say.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.